So hi everybody. It's been a while, hasn't it? My daughter came by last night and she was dropping off some fresh yellowfin tuna that her fiance caught over the weekend, and which is just delicious. And she asked me, "You haven't been posting any videos?" And I kind of laughed and said, "Yeah, I've been kind of busy playing racquetball these days. I'm actually playing probably 6 days out of 7 with a bunch of newfound racquetball friends. So and they play in alternate days. So you play with one group, and then 2 days later you're playing with the same group again. But in between that, you're playing with another friend, and so it's busy. But so here we are with a video, an actual food video. About 8 months ago, I reviewed another pouch from this company, E-Mart, and it says Zhejiang, and I don't know if that's this actual menu item name, but it's English. It's black bean sauce with pork. And the last one I did about 8 months ago was seaweed soup with pork, and that was delicious. So this pouch I already heated up. It's a 500 gram pouch, so it is big, and this picture is a lovely shot. A lot of things in it, and when I kind of feel in here, there does feel like there's lumps and things in it. It's not just broth and whatever. So when I was a photographer back in the day, when we did these food shots, we'd always put a layer of marbles like on the bottom of the bowl, and that way when you dump your soup in, it would, all the vegetables and meats would rise to the top. Very similar to this picture right here. I think the American Standard and Practice kind of outlaw that because it's really false advertising, but hey, you know, it makes for a good shot. So I'm just reading here. This has 20 grams of sugar in it per serving, so there's actually 40 grams of sugar in this bowl, this pouch. And it looks like calorie wise, it's about 520 calories for both servings. So we'll give it a go. It's pretty warm, so rather than, it has a tear notch, but rather than do that, I'm just going to give it a nice clean cut with a pair of scissors, just so we can keep the spillage down to a reasonable limit. So we have here, it's very dark brown. It smells, I'm getting my first waft is actually big bean smell with a nice savory meat kind of after note. So let's get this out onto the bowl, and boy, this is dark. I've never seen this at a Korean restaurant, but when I go to Korean restaurants, I typically order something totally different. Wow, okay. I'll tell you, this doesn't look too appetizing. None of the meats and vegetables have retained their individual color, and everything has become this brown sort of I don't know what you want to call it, but it's got a very tar-like, semi-gelatinous kind of consistency. But let's give it a go. Here's some meat and some vegetables, I think. I can see the meat. The meat's very big whole chunks of like brisket or something in there with the individual, it's not ground or anything. The meat looks actually appetizing, but it's the, what's off-putting is the vegetables, because they are, you know, Coke colored. So this is pretty warm. Let me just take a little baby bite here. Wow. This thing is sweet as all get out. This is like a Korean barbecue sauce kind of thing. And when I go for barbecue, I usually go for the, the vinegar. I'm not a big sweet molasses barbecue guy. An unnamed mystery vegetable. Very crunchy though. This honestly needs to be like half of it put over a bed of white rice or something with a little kimchi on the side. I would actually get tired of eating this. I really couldn't eat this whole bowl in one sitting. And I am not going to do that. I'm just going to do a little tasting for you guys. You don't need to see me eat this whole bowl. Got a bean sauce to it. There's no vinegar, but it's that overwhelming sugary sweetness that I'm really not into. I don't think I'd get this again. That seaweed soup was actually not bad, but this is a totally different menu. This is a product of the United States. It's produced in California. Even though it's in a pouch, I bought it. It was in the refrigerated section of the store, and it's been in my refrigerator since I bought it. So, but what was off-putting is the amount of sugar that it's in it. I've been on lately, the last 4 or 5 months, I've been on a no sugar diet, and not being that militant about it, but very conscious at looking at the back of labels and going to Sprouts and Aldi and getting a lot of organic food and a lot of ice cream that has monk fruit in it, which I like a lot. And I use monk fruit in my coffee. Let's take another chunk of this beef. That was a nice hearty piece of meat. Something you'd find in a French RCIR. I mean, real meat. But boy, the sweetness is overwhelming. And here I am still eating it. Well, speaking of sugar, today's beverage, which I forgot to open up, it's called Basil Seed Drink. And it's actually kiwi flavor. And there's little basil seeds kind of suspended. It has they're in a really nice suspension. And this has been in my fridge sitting in there looking at it. And the basil seeds are spread out very uniformly. And they stay that way. They don't settle to the bottom or anything. But get this. This is a 9.8 ounce bottle for 290 milliliters. And it has a whopping, let me see here, boy, it's tiny, tiny print. The whole bottle is 150 calories, and it has a total of 38 grams of sugar. So this has about 12 grams more than a real Coke. So it's pretty insane. So let's open this up, give it a sip, and see what this has to offer. So let's pour this out. And it's got a heavy, gelatinous sort of pouring. It's not pouring like a Coke or a ginger ale or anything. Let's get it all out here. This is a nice big milk glass. Yeah, so I think I paid $1.20 for this thing. I bought it as a novelty. So let's see what we got here. So it's got little things floating around in it that look like little larval eggs that a frog would have in a pond. So if you think that, you're like, oh my God. And it is green, so. Oh wow. So it's not carbonated. Got a big kiwi flavor. The little basil seeds don't have any taste. They just have a texture that's in your mouth. And they're actually like little pods. So there's like a black inside like a little water capsule. So you can actually break them apart in your mouth. But my God, this is the amount. This is probably the most amount of sugar I've consumed in probably the last 3 months. I mean, I've had birthday cake and whatnot, and you know, had dinners in restaurants where things have had sugar in it, but you know, consciously at home, that's little Rio barking at a squirrel in the backyard, so please excuse her. But this is not something I would sit down and watch TV and drink. It's very, the only thing I can say for it is that it's exotic. It's not an everyday beverage unless you live in an exotic part of the world, I guess. This is made, well, the fine print is pretty insane on this. It is a product of Thailand. So there you go. And it's imported actually in to a company in Hyattsville, Maryland. So it comes over here in a truck or a plane or a boat or something like that, and goes to Hyattsville and gets scattered out about to all the Asian supermarkets. Well, now I know what that tastes like. The mystery's solved, and I think I'll be passing that by. I have another couple things I'm going to be reviewing soon, and I've got some other Asian drinks that I've had in the past that I like a lot. So, and I actually have one can that's got, it makes this sugar content, it's got twice the sugar, so I can't imagine what that'd be something you put on a snowball. This actually would probably be good on a snowball in the summertime. But good kiwi flavor. It's a little more subtle than some other kiwi drinks I've had, which it really, you know, kind of punches you in the face with the kiwi taste. Even though I think this is artificial, it's not as real artificial, if you know what I mean. So